All right, guys, welcome to this voiceover webinar for startups. My name is Dennis Okoye. I believe you already know that I have been in this industry for over 20 years, 23 years to be specific, and I've done different types of voicing. But to confess, I mean, there are some projects I'm doing of late currently that I'm actually new to. So voiceover is not just going to the studio to do voicing or to advertise or to well, of course, it's basically advertising, but it's just the act of using your voice to make money for yourself. That's your strength. That's your. Let me use military language right now. That's your weapon, and so you need to know how to handle these. So this voiceover webinar is actually for startups. So if you're new into voicing and you do not know what is voicing and you really want to get it, especially if you believe you have a fine voice and all of that, I think this is the webinar for you. So quickly, and I intend to use this, I intend to make this webinar as short as possible. But trust me, you're going to enjoy it all along the way. So let's head over to the screen right now while we are getting started, get it over with. Okay, can you come on? All right, so voiceover for startups webinar. So the first thing we want to find out is what is voiceover. All right, that's what comes to your mind. How do you see voiceover? If they ask you what is voiceover, what are you going to say? Well, simply put, voiceover basically is simply the art and science of using your voice to sell products and services. All right, so it is an art, it is a science, and also if you look at what I have here, sell, we're talking commerce. So it is both an art, it's science. Science basically means knowledge, and also you need to know how to sell. All right, so without wasting much time, what do we mean by voicing, or what is the art of voiceover? Well, that art simply means how you naturally sound, all right? And this should determine the kind of genre that you should focus on. So before I get into genre, what is the meaning of genre and all of that, what do I mean by the way you sound naturally? Now, art there is talking about your God-given talent, your God-given gift. How do you sound? All right? Do you think you can do it? Do you think if people hear you speak, do you think that people will love what they are hearing? Do you think people will love your voice? And I want to quickly bring this home. For you to be a fantastic voiceover artist, you really do not need to have a fantastic voice. Or don't let me use the word fantastic voice. Every voice is fantastic. I mean, we've seen people that do not really have a good voice like that, but they are very successful musicians. All right? Everybody knows this young man, Davido. You heard the way his voices. Everybody knows Knives. You heard the way his voices. But that didn't stop them from getting into music. Your voice must not sound like Celine Dion, must not sound like Mariah Carey, must not sound like our own Tiwa Savage and all of that before you say, okay, I want to get into voicing, or I want to get into music. All right. So these are the things that you need to understand. And also this will help you, especially for those of you who have a very fine voice, like me, do not think that just because you have a fine voice, that automatically you will be a great voiceover artist. That's where you need training, and that's the reason for this webinar, and that's the reason also for my voiceover school. So you need to get trained. The first time where I got this impression first was when I newly joined voiceover. So I joined a particular can I say club? I joined a particular online association like that, Voiceover Universe. And there was this particular guy that I listened to his reel. He was one of their main voiceover artists on that platform, voiceoveruniverse.com. And this guy's voice was not really okay, kind of blocked. And I was shocked when I heard this guy's delivery. People, I fell in love with his voice. So it wasn't really about the voice, it was about the delivery. How did you deliver the job that you are given to? So it is about understanding what the script is saying, and then it's about knowing exactly how to deliver it. So you know what the client wants, and then that's the person giving you the job. And also at the same time, you want to sound as good as possible, to the audience. All right. So that's what it means. So it's the way you naturally sound. So do not try to change your voice. In fact, there's another thing, especially for guys. I met with a lot of voiceover artists who smoke. Why? Because they want to have a big voice. They want to have a big voice, something like mine. I remember some couple of years back, about 15 years ago now, I nearly met a guy, and in a TV station, I was introduced to the guy, just to introduce me to other brands so that I can further my voiceover career and all of that. And so when the guy heard my voice, I was like, wow. So he now asked me, he said, do you smoke? I said, no, why would I smoke? He said, wow, you mean you don't smoke and your voice is like this, man? This not. Because this guy is actually a chain smoker. I don't know if he still smokes up to now. But then, you do not have to smoke to block your voice. As a matter of fact, there's one thing I've noticed from experience. When you smoke or you try to do all those artificial methods to make your voice thick, your voice becomes cracked. Not cracked, that's not the word. It becomes coarse. I've heard a lot of voiceover artists and I don't like the way they sound. Voiceover artists, just because you want to make your voice big, you're not sounding like, yeah. No, it's coarse. I mean, there's a project we are on right now, and there's a guy who's there with us. That's the way the guy's voice sounds. I don't like it. I mean, I can't use such a voice for any of my projects. So keep your voice as natural, as warm as it should be, because that is your art. That art is your God-given talent. The way you sound. The fact that you are even interested in voicing is okay. Do not try to make yourself or make your voice sound whichever way. Go with your God-given voice. Let me put it that way. All right. So now we said the art is how you sound naturally should now determine the kind of genre that you should focus on. Now, what do I mean by genre? Now, I have two genre here in my voiceover training, which you are going to see the link. Okay, my hand is not showing. All right, the link right. No, the link should not be. The link should be here. Yeah. This is the link. Yeah, this very link that you're looking up. So you're going to see that I actually have 5 genre, but for the purpose of this webinar, this is not a training, so to say. This is just a webinar. I have 5, but today I'm going to focus on 2, and that is the instructor and also the real person. That's what we're going to be focusing on today. I do not want to delve into very, very complex, voicing like dubbing, like audiobook, but let's just go with the very simple one, with the kind of voiceover you hear every day, jingle, adverts, and all of that. So who is an instructor? The role of this particular person or voice talent is to instruct or provide information to fulfill a specific goal or purpose. For example, a corporate training video or children's video game. Like, I believe you know that all those video games that you play, I mean, I have one on my system right now. I just downloaded it. I'm tempted to actually show you the game, but I'm not going to do that because I need to focus on this. So, I mean, when I was listening to the narration, I was imagining those guys in the studio, and I mean, at times when you watch cartoons, you actually forget that the puppet, the cartoon character is not the one talking, it's actually a human being recording, in a studio, and then they now lip sync. We call it lip syncing. They now lip sync that audio to the mouth, to the movement of the mouth of that particular cartoon character. So, like children's game, Where's my cursor? Yeah, the voiceover best suited for this kind of project is a straightforward, didactic, and educated voice. Now, I have an example here of one of the instructor voiceover jobs that I did. So this is how it sounds. Stop.
Adidas has been gradually growing its share of the sportswear market, becoming the largest sportswear manufacturer in Europe and second in the world with a net sales of 14.49 billion euros. Adidas has been gradually growing its share of the sportswear market, becoming the largest sportswear.
So you can see that straightforward, didactic, educated. They are telling us about Adidas, that particular brand. All right. So that is what an instructor sounds like. So in order for you to be an instructor, you have to be actually calm. You have to be confident. You have to be sure of what you are saying. So like I told you, it's not just about having a nice voice. It's actually about convincing the end user. It's about convincing the person you're selling to buy that brand that you're selling. Now, this was a documentary for that particular sports brand. All right. And when you hear that, you actually love what you are hearing. I believe you love what you heard. Now, the second genre I'm going to talk about on that art is the real person, or we also call them the guy or the girl next door. Here, you do not have to fine-tune your voice. Like the instructor, you need to fine-tune your voice. You need to go, breathe in, breathe out. You need to do some exercises. We're going to get that. We are going to get further in that when we get into the science of it. So you breathe in, breathe out. You do all those training things. Adidas, you don't just say Adidas. You go Adidas. As you can see, there's a difference in my voice. Now that's training. All right. So the real person. Now this character is homegrown, sensible, friendly, with a touch of familiarity, and provides a more intimate interpretation of the script that instills trust. What we are saying is that do not pretend to be another person. That is who you are. In fact, as a guy or a girl next door, like I said, these are referred to as the real person. That's who you are. I'm going to give you an example. There was a time where I did an advert for a telecommunications company. For those of you who know me, I'm currently on an advert now, a telecommunications advert. And so that you might know, I've also done another one on an anti-malaria one. It will be out very soon. I played doctor there. So not voiceover as a model. I'm a model also. So yeah. All right. So we were doing this advert for this other guy, and he's a comedian, and he was supposed to be the brand ambassador of that particular telecommunications brand during that particular year. So he was using a certain language. Now he was supposed to say, let me come here now. He was supposed to use this word. I believe you can see this. I believe I get this spelling correctly. Whatever. I think, well, if I didn't get this spelling correctly, correct it yourself. That's harsh, right? So you were supposed to make mention of this word. Okay, let me check it. All right. Okay, this is correct spelling. Now everybody knows this is gazette. All right. If you don't know, this is gazette. But he was saying, like a lot of local people say in my country, Nigeria, in Lagos, where they say gazette. So when he started, he said, everybody gazette, oh gazette, everybody gazette. And that was what we heard growing up, that this word is actually pronounced as gazette. Okay? So it was when I got into my job, I realized that because you need to know how to pronounce words well, that's part of science of voicing. It's gazette. So I went to meet the director that, dude, correct this guy. It's called gazette, not gazette. And the guy told me, said, that is who he is. He's real. That is what he will call it any day, anytime. So that is the function of that's what a real person is. You're not supposed to actually speak that correct English, except if the script requires you to do so. So you want to talk naturally, the way you would talk. You don't have to have a nice voice. In fact, we would prefer to have people, because we have people with more blocked voice, more coarse voice. We would prefer that so that it will sound more natural. It will not sound doctored, just like the instructor. Okay, so that's exactly how it is. Now let me give you some of my example of what this real person is.
Did you not take my message seriously? None but I do be myself, and only 2 servants have been scoring this town searching for this smoke you call champion.
Let us first get inside.
No, Elder. I am tired. I am fed up. And even further from the throne than I was many months ago that this mission began. Did you?
So do you see that? I mean, that's me doing a local English, an dialect accented English for this radio drama, because this could also double as a character in a radio drama. So that's a radio drama that we did some couple of years back, and so that's the real person. Not necessarily that Chris Queen's English, not necessarily that. You are just being real. So for a start, I think these are the things you need to focus on. Do not get yourself into having to change. Though there are some people who have a natural way of behaving like cartoons. You can do that with a good director, all right? But when you're starting, train yourself in this. Instructor, real person.
Adidas has been gradually growing its share of the sport.
Thank you. So the next one we're going to right now, I believe, is the science. Now, what does it mean? What do I mean by science? Science, I believe you know now, I think is a Greek word, which simply means knowledge. So when they say someone is a scientist, they are telling this person is knowledgeable. So we are not saying that this person is a chemist, a biologist, or a physicist, or something. Science simply means knowledge. So the science of voiceover is simply what should your knowledge base be? What do you need to know about voiceover? Of course, I can't treat that in this webinar that I'm doing right now, but I'm just going to touch on some specific things that we need to know here. So you need to have what we call a certain technical know-how. What do you need to know? When you have a script, you need to understand the direction of that particular script. That's why I put it there, directing. You need to understand the direction of that script. So let me come up with a script here. All right, let me use. If you guys remember, I've actually done one webinar before, but a lot of things didn't really go right with our first webinar because of the platform I was using. A lot of audio wasn't coming up, and so that's the reason I decided to redo this voiceover webinar. All right, now check this out. This is a script, a standard script. Could be a male or female that is going to take the script. The length is 30 seconds. Demography is that we are targeting young families, established homeowners that wants to move up. The character is either a narrator or an instructor. Okay, is either a narrator or an instructor, and then the vocal direction is that it has to be jovial, permanent smile, more than happy to please, and then the suggested is, of course, you can see all those things. Now, where am I going to? Do not forget, we're talking about science and we're talking about directing. What does that mean? Now, when you look at this script, not every script that you are going to get will have all these specifications for you. You need to know how to look at a script, and at a glance, you need to understand where the directing or what direction the script is going. Already, they've given you the direction, vocal direction, jovial. So you have a permanent smile. This is a jovial. You have a permanent smile, more than happy to please. So you are an excited salesperson for this. So these are things you need to know. In the training, like I told you, is right up here. That's the link. You are going to get more of that. So we are asking, this is the script. Getting that big promotion must feel good. Now, this is me taking you to that direction. So they are telling you have to be jovial. So you're excited. You're telling someone who just got promotion, because they are actually selling a house. And that's why whenever you want to record, the first thing you need to do, which I've always said if you follow my voiceover tips, is that you must at least study your script, rehearse your script at least 10 times before recording, before entering the studio. Very important, which means you must familiarize yourself with that script. That way you can understand what direction the script is going. And then when you are now being directed, it will be easier for the director to work with you. And before you know it, your word is going to be out there that this guy is good. Little direction. Why? Because you've done your own homework. Please do not forget this part. So first thing you do, don't try to fine-tune your voice over there. Just read it straight. Getting that big promotion must feel good. Why not celebrate moving up by moving to Somerset Hill? So you understand that this person just got promoted, and because of that excitement and his happy about his promotion, you try to tell him that, look, you'll be promoted from this place to this place. Why not upgrade your life, where you live and all of that? So the neighborhoods of Somerset Hills are now entering into their third phase building. So they've completed the first and the second phase. They are now in the third phase, and people have finished buying the first and the second phase. They are now in the third phase. So it's assumed that you wished to buy that Somerset Hills, one of their buildings, but you could not because your salary could not accommodate that. Even if you go to collect loan, it can't still accommodate that. But glory to God, you just got promoted, and now you have that opportunity because the third phase has just begun. Are you getting this right now? So you need to look at it from that angle. Understand where the writer is coming from. What does the client want? And then you give it to them. It says, choose from dozens of single-family homes on pie-shaped lots tucked away on Lily's Fair Court, telling you it's a very beautiful environment, perfect for young families and parents who want a safe and secluded street on which to raise their kids, people like us. So with homes selling quickly, you'd better act now so that you can move into your dream home before the first snowfall. Open houses are being held every Sunday from 12 until 4 to learn more about Somerset Hills and blah, blah, blah. So you get the direction right now. So if you're going to do that, they've told you they want something jovial, permanent smile, more than happy to please. So let's try this. Getting that big promotion must feel good. Why not celebrate? Why not celebrate moving up by moving to Somerset Hills? The neighborhoods of Somerset Hills are now entering into their third phase building. Choose from dozens of single-family homes on pie-shaped lots tucked away on Ladies' Fair Court. Perfect for young families and parents who want a safe and secluded street on which to raise their kids. With homes selling quickly, you'd better act now so that you can move into your dream home before the first snowfall. Open houses are being held every Saturday and Sunday from 12 until 4. To learn more about Somerset Community, visit our website online or call 555-3125. Somerset Hills. Move in today and stay for a lifetime. Now, this last part, I know you enjoy what you just heard. This last part is what we call payoff. So it's usually the direction of this last part should be different from the body. We call this payoff. So the payoff is the last thing that you want to register in the mind of the customer or of the audience, of the person you're selling to. So it must be punchy in the sense that it must be very pronounced. Somerset Hills. Pause for like half a second. Move in today and stay for a lifetime. Now, nobody is seeing your face. Nobody knows you are smiling or something. But the interesting thing is this. When you smile, you actually sound better. Let me show you. Let me just take this final part. Let me take this final part. Now, I'm not going to smile. Somerset Hills. Move in today and stay for a lifetime. Now, I'm not smiling. Now, I'm going to smile. Did you hear the way I sounded? Now, let me smile. Somerset Hills. Move in today and stay for a lifetime. Because when you smile, you add life. All right? to what you are saying. And so the person hearing you is relating with the liveliness of your voice, with the liveliness of what you are selling. And so because you are smiling, that person is being moved to actually want to buy, because everybody wants to relate with people who are happy. All right? Okay, so let's move on. Where am I? There's my stuff. All right. So the technical know-how, we've gotten the directing, then the editing. Now, as a voiceover artist, especially if you're going to be doing international jobs like myself, and if you're going to be working from home and you do not need to, except if you're running from one studio to the other, you need to learn editing. And in the course that I'm giving you, once you've paid, you have an editing suite that you will download. There is a course, there's a topic there that I dealt almost an hour on editing software, a particular editing software that is Audacity. I use Adobe Audition, but basically Audacity is free. Adobe Audition, you have to buy it. Audacity is free and you can use it, and it's very good. In fact, I realized from experience that when you record with Audacity, the recording is cleaner than when you record with Adobe Audition. So at the point, what I did was that I would record with Audacity and then process it, edit it with Adobe Audition. Because of course, everybody knows Adobe Audition is like the richest sound editing software, Adobe Audition. So if you agree, maybe you're using SoundForge to create sounds now. Anyways, that's that. So that's just it. So Adobe Audition, I use that too. But then Audacity, with what Adobe Audition can do, Audacity can also do. So I prefer to work with that. So you need to learn how to edit, because if you remember when I was reading and I was thinking that I made some mistakes, you are allowed. Don't, because you made a mistake, stop and then go back. When you make that particular mistake, or no, you have to stop and go back really to record. But when you make a mistake, don't go immediately. Maybe you want to say technical know-how, and then you mistakenly say technical how no. You go technical how no, just go back technical know-how. So when you get to your editor, that's in your editing suite, you just remove that wave, that sound wave that says technical how no, and then you just remove it. And then so you need to understand your directing, because when you are talking at a particular pace. You must learn to maintain that same pace. So when you make a mistake, go back, maintain that pace. So don't say, watch this, don't say technical how no, and then you go back technical know-how. That's different. You said technical how no, when you're going to correct yourself, you say technical know-how. Do you see? Technical know-how, because you're continuing to say something. So it's not technical know-how that you're stopping. You want to say technical know-how of blah, blah, blah. You're still talking. So when you make that mistake, go back to that same pace. I believe you get this now. Say it's not rocket science. It's very simple. So just maintain that particular level of, of your vocal direction, and then that's when you make a mistake, go back there, so that when you edit it, it will not be obvious that you made a mistake. In fact, what am I saying? All the adverts that you hear on radio today were all edited. No voiceover artist will say, it's impossible for me to mispronounce a word, or I didn't get a particular. No, you have to make mistakes. Then the way you make mistakes is because that's how you actually develop yourself. All right, now we're now talking about, then the next thing is exporting. Now, a lot of clients and agencies, when they give you work, they will explain to you the kind of formats that they want to collect your audition or your job. Some of them they want to collect MP3, which is the basest. Some of them want to collect, I think .AAC or ACC. I can't, Some of them want to collect .wav. Majority of them .wav, because WAV is the audio quality is better than MP3. But the truth of the matter is that the difference is actually negligible to the hearing ear, such that if in fact, most of the radio adverts that I've done and I've sent to radio stations, all those radio stations actually demand MP3. All right, and that's what they air. Most of them will not air WAV, but agencies will want to prefer you to send WAV to them, so that if they are going to send to the client or to where it's going to be aired, they can now bring it down. But if you send to them a low version like MP3 and you send it to them and they do whatever they want to do on it, and they resend it, because the more you send documents, especially audio documents, the lesser the quality. So you that you have made it, it's always important for you to do it in .wav. But if they specify, give us in MP3, send them MP3. But on a general note, on a general level, always send .wav, because it's usually higher and it brings out the quality of your voice. So that is exporting. In the training, you will learn editing. Exporting. And then software. What kind of software are you supposed to use? I have already said it. We have Adobe Audition. We have Audacity. We have all these things right there. Let me just show you the... Go outside. Let me show you what Audacity looks like. I have Audacity here. Okay, this is Audacity here. So this is Audacity software. This is what it looks like. I'm carrying it up right now, so that's it. Audacity. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Now, if you're going to record, you have to. I don't have my microphone connected. I would have showed you how it is done. So technically, if you have a microphone connected, you will see it here. All right. It will show you where it is. Right now I'm recording with IV cam. All right. So if you're going to record, just come here and press record. And then you see. Can you see? It's recording and recording and then recording. Now let me stop to play what I just did. Now, so if you want to play, you just press space bar, or you come press record. And then you see. Can you see? It's recording and recording and then recording. Now let me stop to play what I... So you can see that, right? So it's very interesting. And then when you realize, and so many other things, I mean, I did like over an hour training on this Audacity, and I think I'll do the addition in the training. And so just make sure you get that, because this is a webinar, and I do not want to, like I said, I don't want to stay too long here. Okay, please, can you just... So one thing about Audacity is that on a normal day, Audacity will export .wav file. All right. In fact, before they don't even have MP3. In order for you to get MP3, you have to download a certain codec, blah blah blah, because Audacity understands that the quality of your audio is basically found in .wav files. So Audacity actually saves on default mode. Like if you want to save project, let's say save project or save project as, okay, this is a project, this is not exporting. If you're going to push this out, you export. All right, so you can see before MP3 wasn't there. Normally it was just this .wav. All right, but with the upgraded version, they introduced MP3. You just click on this and then it's okay. Let's do this. You just export it. Shows you where you're exporting it to. Let me just say sample, and then you save. So automatically it's now on. I think it's on my desktop. Sample. There it is. So all you need to do is just this, and then you hear it now. Come on, go with my record, and then you see. Can you see? It's recording and recording. So with this now, you can always send to your client via email, WhatsApp, whatever it is that you want to, wherever you want to send to. All right, so that's it. So we have directing, we have editing, we have exporting, we have software, and then also the hardware. What kind of hardware do you need? You need a very, very, okay, Fred, let me show you I'm using a very massive system. This is my system, I believe. I think you guys can see it. well, this is a game engine, basically. It's touch screen and everything, but you do not, I hope I'm not messed up my setting of my camera. All right, but you do not really need to have a big system like this. I have a mini laptop in case I'm traveling or something that I use. This is my mini laptop. You won't believe it, I've been using this laptop for almost 15 years right now, I'm telling you. And it's doing the work. Most of my work is on this laptop. I remember when I was getting married in 2013, on my wedding day, before I entered church, a client called me for a job. I quickly entered the car to record, that day. And, so you just then download that Adobe Audition and, you get it done. And then you also need a very good microphone, a USB mic. Please pardon me, I didn't think of this before. Let me quickly show you my own USB mic. So, all right. So here is casing on my USB mic. I use Behringer C1U. All right, that's the casing. This microphone, I've been using it for, I think I bought it in 2010. That's 12 years ago now. So here is what it looks like. Okay, it's a USB mic. Sorry about that. You connect it to, this cord is connected to my system. You connect it via USB, and then once you connect it, you see the green light. So it's a, we call it, this is a unidirectional microphone. Unidirectional means that it's one part that is recording. This other side is not recording. Okay, let me bring it up very well. This other side is not recording. It's this side that is recording. We have some microphones that are multi-directional. All right, so it's recording both here and here. Okay, and it's extremely important that you work with that. So last time I checked, for those of my students in Nigeria, when I checked the price of this microphone, because that's where you guys might be interested also, the price of this one, the fairly used of it, not new, I bought mine new. The fairly used was 38,000 naira. It will be like 42 or 40,000 naira now. Fairly used, not brand new. I've not really checked the price of the brand new yet, but the brand new should be around maybe like 70, thereabout. Okay, so that's the microphone that we have there, and make sure you take care. Okay, like I told you, see all the years I've been using this thing, you can tell that I take care of things very well, right? Okay, so that's the microphone. So basically what you need is the microphone, and then also the system. You have your USB cable. I don't want to disconnect it from but this is the USB cable. This is where it gets into the microphone, and then the other USB part into the system is connected to my system. I don't want to stand up again. All right, so that's the hardware. And then what you also need at times might be your earpiece, because at times when you record, you need to listen very well to how your audio is sounding, especially watch out for what we call white noise. White noise is this shh at the background. You need to remove it, because when clients hear that, it doesn't speak well of your production, and that's why you need what we call so that's why you need what we call an audio vocal booth. All right, now let me show you some of the things. So that vocal booth is necessary, but then you don't really have to, the way things are going on right now, you don't really have to own a vocal booth, because it's actually expensive to construct. I have mine, I have my office, of course, but then for startups, and then considering monetary factor, there are other hacks. Now, before the end of this whole thing, I'm going to show you, because what I now thought of was that, okay, if you guys now want to start, how do you actually get all these equipment for yourself? It's important for you to get the training, know how to get to voice, be good at what you do. Then more importantly, for you to have your own home studio or your own makeshift home studio. So one of the hacks that I've gotten to discover about what you can do with a vocal booth is that if you have a car, your car is a fantastic vocal booth. I mean, I just did a documentary about 4 or 5 days ago, and I did it inside my car. All right, and the client saw it; they were excited about it and all of that. Okay, so especially those of you who have SUVs, your boots, the boot of your SUVs is or your Jeeps. You know, like Americans call it truck. I don't know why they use that ugly name, truck. Why don't you call a nice Jeep a truck? Whatever. So, or just inside your car, because the leather foam and the leather chair and the foam and everything actually constitutes that part that you have in the normal vocal studio where you record and you sound nice. Now, another thing is headphones. Okay. Personally, I don't know. I prefer to use earpiece because, you know, as you can see, earpiece, it gets into your ear. So you are able to hear a lot of detail. Now, with a very good headphone, you can actually, you know, achieve the same. It will sound really, really nice. Now, because I have an online store where I actually sell all these things, because I just figured out when you guys want to start, how do you know where to buy some of these things? And if you go to some online platform, it's actually very, very expensive. So I've been able to discover a way to buy from outside the country, especially from the manufacturers, at a very cheap price. The only caveat to this, that the only condition is that you won't get it immediately. You have to wait for like 28 to 30 days, depending on your location, you know, around the world, because it's going to be like a pre-order. Okay, but I can assure you, I'm going to do that immediately after this webinar. I'm going to show you the site, and then I'm also going to try and see how I can compare with other sites, the prices and all of that. Okay. So, and one thing you need to realize when you're using headphones, especially these Bluetooth headphones, is that some of them come with sound cancellation, or no, not sound cancellation, noise cancellation. Please do not mistakenly put on. I have another headphone is in the other room. It's once you are listening and you can cancel noise. So you are deceived to thinking the audio is good. Please, when you are doing your work, do not remove, using the headphone, do not remove, and in fact, if there's a way you can turn on noise, turn it so that I can hear you very well. Then you know where the issue is and you can rectify it. Because when you send it to your clients, nobody will help you turn off sound, noise, something from your headphone. I believe you understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there are some headphones that actually have sound cancellation, noise cancellation. Do not turn that on. Or better still, just use a very simple headphone that does not have that feature, because if you turn it on, you will be deceived that your audio is clean. Meanwhile, it's not, because what that speaker does is that it will clean it to you, but not on the system. I believe you get what I'm talking about. All right. So that's a technical know-how. So let me quickly see what I can. Let me finish with the how to sell now. So commerce. Now you have learned how to voice. You now know what to do. You now know the equipment that you need. Now, how do you make this money? That's the most important thing. So the first thing you need to do is you must know how to sell yourself. Number one, do a custom demo for yourself. All right. Can I quickly look for where I get my own custom demo? It's actually very long. It's like a voice reel. Okay, not this one. Send this upon my farm. I want to see if I can get them. Sorry, I should have actually done this thing, but I didn't want to take chances. Okay, I think this should be it. Corporate my voice. All right, now listen to this.
This is a special announcement for any entrepreneur, corporate organization, or any parastatal. Are you ready to get good value for your money and good money for your value? Then you need the voice that sells. My voice, the voice that puts money in your pocket.
Now, that is my own demo. I did this like 12 years ago. All right. And as you can see, it's still, now if I'm going to redo it now, it's way, it's going to be way better than what you are hearing right now. But the reason why I left this and I still use it is because it's kind of still okay, but then you need to improve yourself, right? Now, I don't really need to do a demo for myself because somehow I'm already known. I have a lot of clients, so I don't really need to. So all they just need is maybe even if for anybody who doesn't know me, they say we need a voiceover artist somewhere. Oh, we know someone top right, they just call them and okay, let's hear what you've done before. I can either send them the link to my website, or I will just send them some of my voice samples because I've done thousands of jobs. All right, like when by thousands, let me show you some. Now let's check this out. Each of these files are individual jobs I did for clients. All right, individual. Now, the ones in these folders, this is another one. Okay, different. Let me see this one from Kuboko. These are different online jobs. Music Story and Me Season 3. This is a 30-minute radio drama, fully produced, voiced and produced by me. I'm talking about adding, what's it called now? I hope this is the full production. Sound effects and everything,
Welcome to another refreshing time on Music Story and Me. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing, just spare us 15 minutes of your time. Listen in and learn the ways of life from another brand new story. Welcome once again. The title of today's story is Wilting Flowers, and my name is Temitope Kutelu.
So, now let's get back to enough of. Okay, so that's that. Lots and lots of jobs over the years. Now that is just one. Now, if I come to voiceover demo, see them again. So a whole lot. And in fact, let me tell you something. Most of the jobs that I did from 2 years ago, I don't think I even keep them here anymore. This is just one on my system. Another system is there. So it's so much. It's a lot. So that's the reason why where I'm going to is that I, for one, do not really need to do any demo anymore because I don't reach. You understand? So that's the point. But for you, you need a demo. All right? You need to know how to, package yourself. Then if you have done some jobs, try to merge it. There's another one that different jobs because I do English, Yoruba, and Pidgin. Yeah, English, Yoruba, and Pidgin. So I put them side by side. As one finishes, English finishes, Yoruba comes in, then Pidgin comes in, and on like that. So you need to do a demo for yourself and all of that. Then after that demo, most importantly, especially if you are interested in international jobs, you need to have a website for yourself. Now let me quickly show you my own website and how it looks. Let me connect to the internet here. All right. So here is my website, tinyurl.stopwebvoice. That's it over there. tinyurl.com/stopwebvoice. So it's important that you own these things. What's going on? Don't embarrass a brother here. All right, it's coming now. Okay, so here's my site. Okay, now if you want to build your own site or for whatever brand, I do that. I did all this myself. So here it is. My voice is one commercials, sexy and fun for commercials. Things. I hear it's still in. You see all the English, Yoruba, and the teaching jobs. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. While it is loading, it should still bring up all my demos. My base jobs, I do my animations, whiteboard animations. I do not show you. I don't know why it's not showing yet. All right. So while it's loading, let's go back here. Now you have done all this. You have your demo. You have your site. How do you chat? Now, importantly, again, you need to join groups, you need to join associations, Facebook groups, LinkedIn, different associations. Just type voiceover, maybe on Facebook, just type voiceover, see all the groups, start joining them. All right? It's as simple as that. I don't need to sound over the moon here. So, but very importantly, you can do voiceover. You now have your equipment. You have visited my store, you have patronized me, and now you want to get into voiceover. I mean, you have done all these things. How you have your demo, everything. How do you charge? So quickly, with this one, I'm going straight to my. I thought I had it open. All right. No problem. So I want to go to the international rates because initially I just wanted to focus on Nigerian voiceover rates. But then I figured out that I have a lot of people listening and watching who are following me, especially from Pakistan, India, and all those other countries. So let's go with the international rates. All right. So the rate that I actually followed here is. All right, let me do this. So here is it. These are minimum rates for voice-over recordings for broadcast usage, and they are determined by the length of the recording, the medium in which it will be broadcast, and the size of the market in which it will appear. Now, listen carefully. This is the real deal. When you are going to charge, especially if it's an international job, you need to find out, is it what we call broadcast or non-broadcast? Broadcast is the one that goes on electronic media, TV, radio, even internet, online is also broadcast because it's being broadcasted, people are seeing it. While non-broadcast is something that is in-house, maybe like annual general meeting, and then you voiced maybe the award goes to. That's not aired on TV. That is what we call non-broadcast. It is not broadcasted. It's not broadcasted. So the amount you charge for broadcast and non-broadcast are different, even for the same job, even for the same amount of lines of script, the same duration. Okay, and also here you can see that we have local. If it is going to be broadcasted, is it on the local level, is it on a regional level, or is it on the national network? Those prices too differ. So what you're seeing here, all those prices are actually in dollars. All right, they are in dollars. So for normal 15-second, this that you're seeing means seconds. All right, seconds. So for a 15-second advert, 30-second or 60-second advert, you charge for local content within the locality because they will give you all those specifics. This is where we are airing it. So you charge $200. This, I'm telling you, is a standard price. Then, if it is regional, $300. If it is national, it is $1,000. Then, if it is a radio station promo or studio imaging, I believe you know what. Okay, you can't know what studio imaging I mean. For example, when you tune into a radio station and you hear you are listening to so station, Porn 5, where music thrives. All those DJ, blah, 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 all those hypes. You get it? Like, there's one I heard, I really love it so much. The music was playing. And so it says, we interrupt this music to bring you more music, So all those creative things is what they call studio imaging. And where they coined that word from is that your voice is the image That is sounding contradictory because voice cannot be image. You hear voice, you see with image. But then your voice, listen to this, your voice is the image they hear. All right? So when they hear, and what it means, the literal meaning is that when they hear your voice, you create a certain imagination of what the station stands for. That's what they call studio imaging. All right? So radio promotion, studio imaging charge is $200 for either 5 seconds because it's very short. Like I told you right now, we interrupt this message or we interrupt this music to bring you more music. That's like 5 seconds. So whichever, even if it's 5, 15, or 30 seconds, because station imaging cannot even be up to, maybe still radio station promotion can be up to 30 seconds, but imaging 5 to 10 second maximum. So it's $200. Public service announcement on radio is also this. Okay? So now this is for radio commercials. Now listen, don't forget I told you we have broadcast and non-broadcast. Now we also have for radio and TV. The amount you charge for a radio station or for an advert that is going on radio is different from an advert that is going on TV, even if it is the same. So you have two scripts. They say this script is going on TV, this script is going on radio. It's the same time. It's even the same word. You charge TV differently, you charge radio differently. Now you want to ask, what if it's going on TV and radio? You charge that script for TV because it's going on TV. Okay? So if they like, let them put it on radio and anything. But TV basically has the highest price tag on it because TV, people resonate more with what they see than what they hear. All right. So as you can see, you have it here. Then those are for broadcast. Now for non-broadcast, you have them here. Okay. Now you might like, okay, why am I scrolling up so fast on this? You register. All this is given to you. It's part of what you pay for. Okay. I'm feeling as if I'm sounding harsh right now. So like I said, non-broadcast rates for voiceover for non-broadcast, as in rates for voiceover for non-broadcast or industrial usage. Industrial usage means it's not going on electronic media. Are determined primarily by the length of the finished recording. B2B advertising, that's business to business, so they are not really going outside. They are not interested in customers outside. They are interested in, okay, this is my brand. We are servicing this particular brand. Now, another non-broadcast that you could also do was one I did was a mini documentary that would be aired in the what do they call it now? In the reception of a particular office. Let's say I did a voicing. There was a particular voiceover, a mini documentary I did for a particular industry. They produce baby powder, baby cosmetics, and all of that. I don't want to mention their name. And the essence of that was just to show people when they are coming in safety precautions, safety, measures on what to do. Like you tell them, in the voicing, you tell them when you enter into the facility, please walk on the walk alone sign. So there's a particular place on the ground. You say, walk here, don't pass where crane are passing, and all those big vehicles that could injure you. So that's what we call non-broadcast or industrial. I believe you understand right now. And the way it is done is that you don't really charge them the way you charge broadcast. You charge them like it's written here. You charge them by the length of the finished recording. What this means is this. Now, look at this, for example, 0 to 5 minutes. You charge between per minute. Sorry, let's start with per minute. Per minute of that is usually more than a minute, but per minute you charge $100. Dollars, mind you, not your local currency in dollars. $100. So from 0 to 5 minutes, instead of charging times 100 times 5 for 5 minutes, you don't cut off their head, $250 maximum if it is up to 5 minutes. But if it's within between that, so depending on your negotiation, how well they want to pay you, and also on your negotiation skills. In fact, you can actually charge higher than this depending. All right. Now at the end of this one, I'm going to still tell you one or two things. It's not a must to follow this hook, line, sinker. This just to have an understanding of what you should price. I'm not saying must be 250, must be 250. You say you have 250, you have 200. I'm not doing. You will get broke. Okay. So make sure that you focus on this. Then, now here is it. How do you know if something is 1 minute or 2 minutes on? What we are saying is that this minutes that you're seeing is recorded, not just recorded minutes, is finished time. Now, if you are just doing voiceover, you are not editing, you are not doing any of those things, you can just charge them, okay, 1 minute, this is what you can look at a 1 minute script, you know, it's just 1 minute. All right? But if you are editing it and you want to send it, because when you are going to record, if I am given a script now, for example, I'm giving a 30-second script, for me to record that script, you have to, and that's when you enter the studio, you must have made sure that you master the script. So we are not adding the time of mastering the script to it. We are talking of when you enter the studio. At least, to be good, you must do like 4 takes. Okay? So, you're looking at the length of the script that you're given in relation to time, which I'm still going to talk about that, in relation to time, and then you multiply that time by 4 or by 8 at times. So if you are given a 1 minute script, give yourself 8 to 10 minutes as a professional, somebody like me, 8 to 10 minutes. In fact, what am I saying? 30 minutes. Okay, but what you do, because you can't just cut their throats like that. So what you do is that you have to factor in the time of the take, how long you're staying in the studio, because if it's not your studio, you're going to be paying for the air time. So if you're using 1 hour, you are paying for 1 hour in that particular studio. You people should know this now. You're paying for 1 hour, and that's if it is your job. But if it's an agency or somebody who calls you, don't have business, you just go there, record your voice, and then they pay you your money. Tell them what you want to pay, you pay your money, and then you go. All right? So it is actually the time, the length you finished recording. All right? That's for non-broadcast. But for broadcast, they tell you specifically 60 seconds advert, we are paying this. They are not doing length of time. But if it's going to be something like this, or maybe like audio book, or you want to dub, or you want to do some of all those things that is not broadcast, you need to factor in your recording time. So, but basically, this is how it goes. So, long form of narration, we have like rates for recording audio of 2 or more hours in the length of broadcast music, like audio book, podcast, educational material, or like the one we are working on right now. We are dubbing a Netflix movie. We are still on it right now. We have recorded, gone to the clients. If you look at my Instagram page, you see me in the studio, not my studio, in the agency studio. Those guys are from Nairobi, Kenya. We just translated a Netflix movie, 2 movies to be specific. So, and we spent I got there 9 o'clock, I think 9 o'clock, and we finished 9 to 5. That's 8 hours. All right, that's one session basically. So that's an 8-hour session. How much do you charge in case of this thing? So this is what you do. 1 hour, you charge between $250 to $500. All right. Then I know people are looking at me that, well, this guy don't have my 8 hours multiply that. But right then, additional hour, you charge them $100. Now, let me stop here. Let me say this, when you are charging, do not forget that you are still a human. Do not forget I'm not saying strictly adhere to this pricing that I'm giving you. I'm not saying that. Learn to negotiate. Interestingly, you can actually charge more depending on the client. All right? We're doing a work right now. I'm going to cover that. I can tell you the client. The client is actually Google. So you can imagine you're working with Google, one of the richest companies in the world. I mean, I can't charge Google the way I'm going to charge, maybe if I'm doing an advert for Jumia, or I'm doing an advert, and then if I'm going to work with Amazon is still bigger than Google, I think. I'm going to charge Amazon a little bit higher because they won't even look at it. I mean, what's that to those guys? I mean, this is a company that 3 million people visit every day. I mean, it's like Amazon, 3 million, in fact, more than 3 million right now because of what these guys have gotten into. So at times you do, I mean, I've worked for a brand as at the time when in AVWA, that's Association of Voiceover Artists here in Nigeria, we were charging 20,000 naira for voiceover. If we're going to do maximum production, everything was going to be between 40 to 50,000 naira for radio. But this company approached me and told me this was what they wanted to do. I charged them 150,000, and they paid with joy. In fact, it was more than 150,000 because tax then would make it 157,000. So they deducted the tax and they paid me 150,000 for a job I would do normally for 15 and 20,000 naira. So it depends. And I know of a friend who did the same thing for a telecommunications company and was paid 1 million for a job that we would do normally. In fact, I've given him a job of 15,000. I paid him, in fact, what am I saying? 13,000 naira. I remember 13. In fact, I wanted to pay him 10. He forced me. I had to send 3 extra thousand naira. So this is the same guy who did the same thing that he did for me. He did it for a telecoms company, and they charged them 1 million. In fact, somebody else was telling me last week they did another job for another telecoms company, and the first telecoms company paid her 1.5. The second telecoms company, that one that she was paid 1.5 million was just for voicing, 1.5 million. Then the second company, because it was a year contract, after the year, the competing company, telecoms company, called her, made her scripts, and also made her voice. Normally, she's supposed to charge 2 million because she has increased 2 million for scripting, 2 million for voicing. She was supposed to charge them 4 million. But these people said, no, she charged them 3 million. That, okay, since it's confidential, let me reduce the money per unit head. And then they begged her to 2 million. She collected 2 million naira for the same job we're talking about. Okay, so it depends on the kind of connections that you have, the kind of legs that you have. Now, finally, I want to quickly say this because a lot of people, in my last webinar, people had to understand what I was saying. So let me put it this way. Let me close all of these. I think I should be through with the presentation now. I think so. Questions, okay. Okay, thank you very much. So I think we are through. So do not forget that. Now, I want to show you something. How do you do word count? Now, I have actually done that in my there's a tip. I've done voiceover tip. Now, let me quickly show you this. How do you do word count? Time will fail me, I would have showed you pronunciations and all of that, but let me quickly say this. 3 words equal. What's my equal to? Oh, whatever. So 3 words actually is 1 second. That's a standard. What it means is that on the average, a human uses 1 second to say 3 words. If I say, I am fine, 3 words, I am fine, 1 second. So what that means is that automatically or invariably, it means that 6 words will be 2 seconds, right? 6 words would be used that's 2 seconds. 2 seconds. So how then do you now estimate how you want to? Because there are times when you get jobs, they will tell you, okay, I got a job early last year. They told me it was 20,000 words. So there are some jobs you get, they will only give you the word count. They won't tell you per minute, per second. Here, the table I showed you right now about calculating or pricing and charging is per minute, is time-based. Some clients will not give you time, they will give you words. How do you do this? So, what you now, depending on how you want to charge, how many seconds will you use to read 20,000 words? Or let's make it minutes. Let's just use seconds. Let's say minutes right now. Now, 60 seconds. We all know makes 1 minute. So, on the average, how many words would you say in 1 minute? I believe you would have pressed the calculation. So that means you will say 180 words a minute. 180 words per minute. So if you are charging 20,000 naira per word, by the way, the official for Nigeria now, the official Lavwa rate is per minute for either broadcast or non-broadcast. For radio is 40,000 naira. TV is 7. Jesus, I'm not going to forget it. The TV I think is 70,000 naira. So that's for. Okay, now I think I'm missing this right now. Maybe I have to go back to my. Anyway, it's inside my budget. Everything is there once you register. You see all the right there. But basically, it's 40,000 naira. TV is 70,000 naira. While that's for radio, then for premium, we call something premium. So and premium, the telecoms brand falls under premium. Banking falls under premium. Banking brands fall under premium. Politicking, government brands fall under premium. I think these major brands, and then depending on, there may be oil, I don't think oil companies do adverts, but just those three, telecoms, banking, and politics or government, they fall under premium. So when you get a government job, do not charge them the way you're going to charge just a company, a regular company, even though if they are making so much money. They might not be on premium, all right? But telecoms, everybody knows they are premium because everybody uses phones and all of that. So that's how it's done. So now let's say 40,000 for saying 180 words. How then do you charge for 20,000 words? Well, this is just simple mathematics. So the way you do this right now is that, so we have 180 words. 20,000 words. How many minutes would you spend to do this? What you just do is 180 or 20,000 divided by 180. So that's 20. I don't know if I should be typing all these things. Divided by 180. 20,000 divided by 180. Let me bring out my calculator. I should be able to calculate it in my head. But not to do that. I'm going to ask me why. Thank you for not asking me why. Okay, so 20,000 divided by 180. So you're going to spend an average of 110 minutes. Okay? An average of 110 minutes, thereabouts. 110 minutes to say 20,000 words. All right? And that's 20,000 words, 110 minutes. How many hours is that? That's giving us 1 hour 50 minutes. So I'm saying that when you listen to 20,000 words, you stay for 2 hours on the average to listen to the recorded version of 20,000 words. But let me tell you something. It will take you a minimum, the job was 30,000, but let's leave it at 20,000. So, and it will take you a minimum of a month to record every day, all right, to get this thing done. Or for somebody like me who's very fast, to record 1 hour like that, because you definitely have to be careful, you have to pronounce words well, you do the retake, you take the first paragraph, listen to it, make sure it's okay, because you cannot record at once, and then you are now listening all over. No, you actually, I'm giving you the secret right now. You do it paragraph by paragraph. You do paragraph 1, you listen through, is there any correction? Oh, this should be done, let me remove them, let me do it again, and all of that, you're good. And maybe one paragraph is about maybe 180 words, okay? So you do that, just 1 minute, on that 1 minute, you might spend if you are very fast, you might spend 10 to 15 minutes on just that one paragraph. And you have about how many paragraphs to go? About 110 paragraphs to go. So you will spend if you are very fast, someone like me, I can spend 2 weeks to do this. But on the average 1 month, because you don't want to rush yourself. I might have other jobs. Okay? So let's say 1 month. In fact, I gave them 1 month. In fact, the project we are on right now, that I told you we're going to be doing, is actually, I think, 20,000 words, and they're giving us 2 months to record, morning to evening, every day, though excluding Saturday and Sunday. But for me, personally, I will include Saturday and Sunday, and so it's going to be. But then it's official. They don't want to rush. They want you to get it very well, so it is 2 months. All right. So that's exactly how you do it. So depending on how you charge, like I told you, look at how much you charge per minute. And then you now look at it, 2,000, 20,000 words. How much is that? Now you cannot charge them on a unit basis of how much you charge per minute, because you're charging 20 or 40,000 naira per minute. You're now calculating 40 times 100. How much is that, say? 40 times 10. That's already 4 million. Okay, 4 million naira. To do that, they will run away. Okay, so there is a way you have to now pay with this kind of a job. If you give them $1 million, I'm talking naira now, please. I'm talking naira. If you give them 1,800,000, 600 is okay, because even you will enjoy it. All right. So on the final note, let me quickly show you. Okay, let me see if my website is up. So this is my English jobs. You play.
Easy Share was designed to give users 100% confidence with 100% control. This includes sysadmins.
Yes, so Ikeja Electricity Distribution Company